Hey Nancy, good morning. I'm just trying this out to see if anybody is awake. I'm here on the East Coast, so it's early for me. I'm just trying to set up my phone, wondering if I can see chat a little bit better. I knew Murray would not be on this morning, so I thought I'd come on and maybe do a little project. So, how are you this morning? I should have charged my phone. Of course, I did not. Me too. So you're in Maine. Ooh, I guess it's chilly for you too then, right? It's very cold here. We were supposed to get some really nasty weather today and tomorrow, but so far it's been clear. Hey, Carla. Good morning. I wasn't sure if anybody would be awake. I guess I should. Well, I don't know whether to jump right in and see if a few more folks might be awake, but yesterday I was messing around with some, I call it collage, but I looked up the definition just before I came on, the difference between collage and decoupage. Apparently, decoupage is applying pieces of paper or cutouts to an object, and collage is putting things on a variety of materials on a flat surface. Good morning, Gail. So I think there's a fine line there. So yesterday I started messing around with, I thought it would be nice to have some kind of a decoration to put on the front of a journal. So some friends had given me a bunch of these photo mats, like you would put around your kids' faces in a little photo frame. I don't really use these for anything, but of course I can't throw anything out. It's 6 degrees, but it feels like 12 below. Where are you, Carla? Are you on the East Coast or? I just left my dogs out, but I didn't just let them scoot out. I didn't really stick my head out the door. I have my little mascot, Stewie, here. Good morning, Teresa. So I thought I would mess around with a frame, a little photo mat frame, and this is what I came up with. And I thought it would look, now I got to get used to where I have adjust my camera a little bit here. Maybe I need to go up a little bit. Sorry, ladies. I thought I had that. Okay, her screen. Okay. We're having rolling blackouts by Northeast Texas. Oh my. What does that mean, rolling blackouts? I don't know what that means. So I did this little frame, put some collage paper from Tim Holtz on it, and I just decorated the corner. And I thought this would look cute either on the front of a book. Now I put some vellum behind this circle, or maybe an old-timey image, maybe of a portrait of a gal or something. Or I could also put vellum or more collage paper behind the opening and then put it in my book and just glue it down on 3 sides and use it as a pocket. And then the other thing that I worked on, I have some of these, do you gals remember these slide projector little squares? My dad had tons of these. Well, I used those with the same kind of idea. And I thought they would be cute to either frame something on a journal page or to also decorate the front of a cover. This one I've got cattywampus. So I thought maybe I would do a few more of these this morning and show you how I did those. So that's what I have in mind for this morning. Thought I'd get a couple of hours in before Dee Dee comes on. So I think I have most of my supplies at the ready. I'm not sure how this, I know I always have a glare here, which is troublesome. Let's see if I put a piece of get the old fingers to work, put a piece of napkin. There's a way I can go in and change my camera settings so that the picture on the screen for me is not backwards, and I keep forgetting to do it. All right. So the first thing I need to do is get this stuff unwrapped. Now, you might have some of these lying around, or sometimes you can pick them up at a Goodwill. Now, the one I did yesterday, I base coated it in a sage green. But today I'm going to just leave this white. And then my family had these. This is a picture picture of my sisters and I and my mom at some kind of a petting zoo. And that's funny, January of 1970. And then Dad had some plastic ones as well. So these work too. These were a little more difficult to glue the paper onto. I just guess because it's plastic. And I just pop out the little film. I guess you can use those too for some things, but I haven't used them. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could see. You probably can't see that well enough. That's my mom. Got tons of these. All right. So I've got those. Now I need to decide. I pulled out a little doily. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. I think this is so pretty. Sometimes I have a hard time using the stuff I have. Like Shelley was saying the other night, you know, saving stuff. And then you might find yourself in a spot where you have to get rid of things that you really never used, wanted to. Now I like this napkin because it's got some music on it, but it's not quite. It would be upside down. I guess most of them would be upside down unless I piece it, which isn't bad either. Let's see. And then the little guys. Now see, I want enough to wrap around the edges. I like the brightness of this piece. I think I'm going to go with this one. Although these hummingbirds are very pretty. Lots of people like hummingbirds. I'm leaning towards the Paris. It's not really Paris, but they are French words. Fleur du Jardin. Flower garden. If I wrap it that way. All right, so I'm going to take my backing off. Now I have my script stamp sitting here. Now I usually fiddle around with these because I like to save the back because I use that backing many times instead of paper toweling to clean my paintbrushes. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether they're 1 or 2 ply. This one looks like it might be 2 ply. It is. Woohoo! it's really, really see-through. All right. Well, because of the pattern, and I want to get as much of the flower on as I can, I'm not going to worry about wrapping the edges of this one. The other one that I did yesterday, I wrapped the edges. This one, I'm not going to worry too much about that because I want to get as much of this pattern in as possible. So, and I want it just a little bit past the original crease of the napkin. And I'm going to tear it. I probably should use a paintbrush and some water. I like to fold it just fold it into like a little smaller piece and then tear instead of trying to get all the way down the napkin. Now the question is, if I do it that way, I'm not sure I would like that. I'm wondering if I tear it in half this way, if I can piece it and if it would look better. So how come everybody's up so early? Especially you, Carla. Hey, JL, good morning. Okay, so if I put it this way, all right, I think I'm going to try to piece it. We'll see how it works. I have other napkins, so if this one doesn't work, I can go to a different napkin. Now I want to make sure I do cover my edges. And all right, and I want my edges to be not cut or real straight, so they kind of blend into each other. So I'm going to tear the bottom of that as well. And I would like to get that Fleur Jardin in there on the top. So now my other project, I didn't fiddle as much. Because I used collage paper, so it was easier than trying to match a pattern. So if you have any tissue paper with a pattern, collage paper, like I have this, I'll probably use this on the small stuff, the small frames again, like this Tim Holtz collage paper. It's a lot easier. If you're not really fussing around with trying to match a pattern. And you may not be as, goofy as I am. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, so I'm going to get my golden matte medium down, which lots of times I end up having an avalanche. I have a little shelf right above me. And like Dee Dee, I keep my glue brushes in a little jar of water. That was a very good tip that she gives folks. It's very convenient. And I'm going to take one of these old napkin backs and blot off my brush. So I'm just going to start painting on my matte medium. And I generally just squirt a little bit on my project. This is probably not a good tip either, but this is what I do. And if you're nervous about putting down napkin and you haven't really done that a lot, you can get out a piece of plastic wrap ahead of time. And when you put your napkin down, you put your plastic wrap on top of your napkin, and it really helps you get it down very nicely. I probably should have done that to show you, especially if you're doing something on a larger surface. Of course, I don't care if it wrinkles a little bit. It kind of gives it a little character. Get out a baby wipe. Okay, so here's something I want to ask you. I have been going on Facebook to the Facebook market and, you know, browsing around, see what folks have for sale. And there's someone that has these plastic lids from baby wipe containers. This little plastic frame with the lid. They're selling them. What would somebody use these for? Any ideas? I can't figure out why someone would want to buy these. Any ideas? It's got me stumped. All right, I just want to clean up underneath here where I got some glue down, so I don't have my frame sticking to my surface. Now I'm going to add my top piece, and I'm going to do the same thing. Not be quite as generous. And I'm just going to overlap that a little bit on the napkin I put down first. Collage paper is a little, really is a lot more durable than a napkin. Okay, I missed it on my, they use them on a journal cover as a window, or use the inside. Oh, JL, aren't you bright? Okay, I would never, ever have thought of that. How about that? All right. Good job. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of the matte medium now on top. Now I have a little lamp here next to me that I'm going to sit this on top of, and it'll help dry it a little bit while I work on my smaller frames. Now I want to make sure that I have my edge around the opening, that I've got enough matte medium on there, because I want that to dry and be really stiff, because I want to, I'm not going to wrap this. I want to sand this down so I have a nice clean edge. If you wanted to wrap it, you certainly can do that too, but I don't wrap it well enough to have it look as nice and neat as I want it to look. So I just want to make sure I have enough adhesive there so it really sticks nicely. All right. So this one we're going to put aside. And then I'm going to... Kimberly, good morning. Who else did I miss? Good morning, Janice. I missed Janice. Oh, JL, you're Janice? Ah, see? I'm more alert in the morning than I thought I would be. All right. Dry my surface here. Now I'm going to work on my little frames. And these guys, I'm going to go ahead and use my Tim Holtz collage paper. I don't know how many different kinds he has, but I have plain white, which you could stamp any images on that you wanted to. And I have this little rose design. And then somewhere, I can't remember where, it's not a roll like this. I have bigger sheets of his. And I didn't look for that. That has butterflies and different words and script on it, which is really cool. And I have some bits of it here left over from yesterday's project, which of course, you know, I didn't throw out because I have a hard time throwing out little bits of anything. Yeah, I think it's really pretty too. Okay, so with these little guys, all I did was, like I said yesterday, I painted, oh, I'll show you girls that have come in just now. This is what I did yesterday, the little frames. Which you can use, you know, on a journal cover or on the front of a cover. Or in a collage piece, really. And then I did the larger one on the photo mat. See, this is the other Tim Holtz paper I have. So that one piece is from the inside circle. So with these, I didn't fuss around too much. I mostly just stuck them down, but I did paint them. I base coated those. Oh, thanks, Jael. Hey, Nashua, good morning. Well, it's probably not morning for you. So just happy day, Nashua. I'm going to use this whiter side instead of with the red print on it. Yesterday, I base coated my frames a sage green, but I don't think you can really tell. So I'm not going to take time to do that. So I'm going to use this side, and all I'm going to do is just glue down a section, and then I'm going to cut around it. So I'm just going to sit it wherever I think I like. Now I wrapped them yesterday. The larger one today I'm not going to wrap because of the way my napkin fit on there. So I'm just going to take my, and a lot of times I just put my matte medium right on my brush because that's way too much. Because I, unfortunately, if I put it on my work surface, I end up putting my elbow in it, or I never can find a little piece of scrap or a, I'm way out of frame, right, guys? Wait a minute, I gotta adjust myself here. I'm used to sitting back and working instead of working right under the camera. Oh, good. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that on there. line up my this is much easier to get down than that tissue paper. I mean, the napkin paper. Of course, you probably might work a little neater than I do. Maybe I'll let it dry that way a little bit first, for a second. This is one of the plastic frames. Good morning, Rhonda. I am doing well. I pray you're doing well too. And I hope everyone is staying warm. It's 2 p.m. here. Okay, great. So you've already had your lunch and on your way to finishing out your day. So the plastic was a little more fiddly getting things to stick to it. So I'm just gonna finish up with this other plastic one. I think I do want to wrap it, so the frames are these little slide projector frames are so little, and this collage paper I have, the print is a little on the large side. So if you have something with a smaller print, it might be easier to, make it look better. I just feel like my camera is way off. Let me bring it over this way a little bit. That might be better. Okay. Now I got to remember where I liked it. Now, if I was going to use these little frames, like sometimes I use them as a page tab, then I would put a little picture, behind the opening. And use it for a page tab. But other times I just put it on top of an image on one of my pages, or you could put little words. I'm doing well, thank you. We're going to the zoo. I love the zoo. Oh my gosh, I love the zoo. When my kids were young, there were a couple of years there where we had a membership. So we could go whenever we wanted. Haven't been, of course, for years. My children are old now. I really kind of gooped that one up. All right, last one. Let's see. This one I don't think I'm going to worry about wrapping it up. So I'm just going to use the plain side again. Paint on my matte medium. So if you don't have any of these little frames, and you can get your hands on some, I would recommend them. I have a bunch of them. I had said to my mom a while ago, do you have any of those? Do you still have those slide projector frames? I was just getting ready to throw them out. So I've got them just in time. Ladies, yesterday my mother was 90 years old. 90. She's doing great. All right, now these other frames here, I'm going to miter my corners. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just snip off the corners. And then I don't want too much here because I don't want it hanging in the window, so I'm going to trim some of this off. Hey, Barbara. Good morning. Yeah, I know, 90, right? She's cute as a button. My son lives with her. So he took her a box of chocolates. He was all excited to take her some chocolates. She was thrilled. I have two sisters. We wanted to take her out for her birthday, but it's just too cold. So we're going to wait till the weather breaks. We'll take her out for a good meal. Oh, which one was I going to sand? I think I'm going to sand that one just to show you the difference. I think they're good. Yeah, I just don't want to have any extra. This one I'm going to sand, so I'm not going to really worry about miter in the corners. I'm just going to trim off some excess. Now I'm going to put these on my lamp and let them dry a little bit. I'm going to do the, oh, what was her name? Julia Child. Just take my scrubs and squish them on the floor. All right, so I'm going to put these up on my little... Yeah, that's pretty. That dried fairly well. I might hit it with my heat gun a little bit. Let's just see. Let's just see. So that gluing part is done. Hey, Erin, good morning. You're up early. What time is it getting to be now? 7:13. Okay, it's not too early. All right. That feels pretty dry. So what I did yesterday, and I do on occasion, is I use one of these nail file thingies. I don't like to use the emery boards because they're a little too rough, I think. But you can pick these up, gosh, even at Walmart, I think. And they have different grades of roughness. So if you don't have one and you want to pick one up, you want something maybe middle of the road. But it makes it real easy to then clean up your edges on a project like this if you may not have enough material to wrap it or, product to wrap it. And that's what I did with this one because of the way I wanted the image. Oh, that's a good aspiration to have, but I really don't really have that aspiration. It just depends. If I go to sleep earlier at night, I'm up early in the morning whether I want to be or not. Okay, so I'm just going to take my little X-Acto here and just kind of tear the insides of my napkin. And I'm just cutting out some excess here. I don't want to miss anybody. There's so few of us, I don't want to miss anybody saying good morning. Okay. And then I'm hoping that this is dry enough. It feels fairly dry. Let's see if it'll work. And then all you do is you just sand your edges. Probably most of you know this. And then it comes off very easily, and you have a real nice finish, a real nice edge. Now, like I said, you can wrap it. You can miter your corners. So I'll show you on the one small frame. But if you have a really rough, I'm thinking of the small brown emery boards, I think that might tear up your collage paper or your napkin. Although, if it dries really well, it might be okay. This is still, I think, a little damp. Sorry if that noise is making someone crazy. I don't mind the early morning so much these days now that I don't work anymore, but I really didn't like early morning getting up for work. Now, I didn't take the time, and I probably should have yesterday after I finished working one of these up, to dig through some of my ephemera to see what I might put behind the frame opening. I have some of those, one's called the Priscilla, like an old-timey magazine kind of thing. Oh, so sorry, Barbara. Put your fingers in your ears, please. But you could put a piece of vellum behind here. I was saying to the girls earlier that came in earlier, or an image, a photograph, perhaps. Good morning, Deborah Brown. And I think really maybe it's time for me to replace this little emery board because there's not much left. Although that worked nice. These photomat frames, see, that's kind of a, I guess they call it a beveled edge where they cut it. So if you do this, see how nicely that makes your edge? I'm loving that, girls. I'm loving that. So for those of you that just arrived, I'm covering and decorating a photomat frame to be used on the front of a journal. This is the one I did yesterday. Now, this may not be the right size book, but you'll get the idea. You know, if you have an empty book cover. And I would put of course, an image behind here. You could put lace around the outside edge and, you know, really jazz this up. And then if you wanted to, you could also use it inside your journal as a pocket. You could put a piece of vellum behind it, or really anything. If you had a nice image that worked with however you designed your frame, and just glue it down on 3 sides, and it could become a pocket. All right. And then same with these little guys. You can use these. These are the slide projector frames. You could use these to decorate a page in your journal, decorate a cover. So that's where we're headed with these. And all I did was just use some golden matte medium to stick this napkin down. I used collage paper yesterday, And I've got collage paper on my little frames today. Oh, that's right. They're over there on my lamp. I'm thinking, what did I do with them? Excuse me. So, ladies, I'm trying to be a little more prepared and do some more lives because I find that people seem to watch those more than just my standalones. Although my standalones aren't doing too bad, but I'm zeroing in on the place where I can become monetized. So that's my next YouTube goal. I still have quite a few hours to go, but I'm closing in on the gap. Oh, really, Erin? What kinds of stuff did you do? I'm sure they're wonderful. They could be mini pockets too. All right, so that cleaned up pretty nicely. Of course, my other one was an oval opening. It was a little easier to sand and get it nice. So I'm going to put those little scraps. All right, now I've got these little guys. And these I'm going to wrap. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of my matte medium. Of course, I put that away, which was silly. Oh, thank you, Barb. I always get a little nervous right before I get started, but once I get going, I kind of just forget. And then I just feel like I'm with friends crafting, and so then it becomes fun, and I kind of get lost in what I'm doing. See, so if you cut those edges and miter those corners, they really glue down pretty nicely. See? I don't know. They sound pretty cute to me, Erin. Okay, so that guy's done. Now, like I said, I had the one that's plastic, and I had a little more trouble with this gluing this one down. So if you have any of the plastic slide projector frames, see how difficult this is. You might want to use a different type of glue other than the matte medium. What do you see? It'll stick down great. Yeah, see, now that side sticking down great for me. But yesterday, man, I thought I was going to have to stick my finger to the frame to get it down. So I was thinking I should have switched over to maybe some Fabri-Tac or something. But this morning, it's working just fine. All right. Now, of course, if you're making a couple of these and you have a certain journal or project in mind, you can color coordinate how you decorate them, or even what collage paper or napkin you might use. So now this last little guy, I'm doing all of the edges, sanding them off. And then you just want to have some little bits of things available, like maybe some cheesecloth or some muslin, some little bits of fabric, little buttons, little metal pieces, anything you think would you know, look cute to kind of decorate them. You really could leave them plain. Like you said, if you wanted to use it for the edge of a page, you know, you could put a photo, or really you could leave it like this and put a piece of cardstock that matches whatever you have in your book, you know, and then use them. You wouldn't want to put anything thick or bumpy on there if you're using it for a page turner. Oh, thank you. No, I go and have them done. They're acrylic. My nails are terrible. I'm a biter. And so this is my treat once a month. I take my 93-year-old neighbor. Hey, Miss Gigi, good morning. Or good afternoon. Good day. I should say good day, because I don't know where you are. All right. So now these, again, I have to do my little, I'm going to open these up. And like these would be real easy, I think, to wrap if you wanted to wrap them. You know, just cut them in as close as you could and get your glue in there. You know, you could wrap them. But see, I just like sanding them better. So I'm going to sand these. And then I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Distressed ink. And I like to use the photo, vintage photo. So I'm going to get that out in a minute. I'm trying to train myself not to say, I hope this isn't boring you, because I mean, really, yeah, I take my neighbor. Actually, she found the nail salon. My 93-year-old neighbor's like my best friend here in this neighborhood. I live about an hour from my family. Probably not the brightest decision we ever made, because when we moved here, our daughter was just getting married. And of course, you know, you don't know what's to come. So we just went ahead with our move. And now I have 2 grandchildren, and I wish I were back in Pennsylvania near my family and my mom and all, my son, our daughter. But here we are in South Jersey. And after we were here about a year, my husband's very friendly. He chats to everybody. Me, not so much. I tend to be a little on the shyer side with folks until I have an opportunity to get to know you a little bit. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. And so he had gone down and introduced himself. I don't know if we made her a cake or no, I don't think we did. I think we went down and he went down, introduced himself, and said, if you need anything, you know, we're 3 doors down. Be happy to give you a hand. And then he just happened to mention that I like to do arts and crafts and stuff. And so she called to thank him. And I think he was taking a nap. Gosh, I think he was taking a nap. Yeah. So I chatted with her for a while. And then I said to him when he woke up, I think we should invite her for dinner. So we were having spaghetti. We invited her for dinner, and that was that. Of course, she was like 86 at the time. Now she's 93. And we're buddies. So it doesn't really take long if you're only doing 1 or 2 of these. It's not a terrible involving. Oh, okay, Miss Gigi. Oh, a new craft room. That sounds exciting. Hey, Lena, good morning or good afternoon or working and lurking. Just wanted to say a quick hi. Oh, thank you so much, Lena. All right, coming down the home stretch on this part. All right, so then I'm going to get out my Timmy inker. Now I got out this really pretty napkin, but I'm not, doily, but I'm not sure it works because I don't want to. Although that kind of might look cute. Well, I think I'm going to ink it first, and we'll see how it looks, and then maybe decide where to go from that point. Now, not everybody I know is into the vintage, grungy, smudged up look. So you may like it like this and just leave it the way it is, and then go ahead and decorate it however you might want. But I always like to put some ink on the edges. And of course, you don't have to use the vintage photo or this brown color. You could go with a color, right? I could do a pink or something to match your book. And then I'll do my inside opening. I have my hot glue gun plugged in, and I really haven't thought about what I might put on the frame to decorate it. See, for me, that just makes it, putting that little bit of, kind of brings your eye in, and I don't know, I just really like the inking the edges. Mitzi, good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. This one I kind of roughed up a little bit. Wasn't quite glued down, but it'll be all right. Okay, now the thing I have to keep straight is these little words that are here, which really aren't words. I think I want to do a little stamping on this one. So I have two little script stamps here. I think this one would be better than the other one. The other one's kind of large. And let's see. Oh, I found a piece of paper I'm willing to stamp on. That's a miracle. Now these stamps, I can never tell, which is right side up. So I always put a little arrow there. And sometimes I still goof it up and don't get it stamped the right way. But I'm just going to add a little extra on here. You can't, it's just very subtle, but I like it. I'm not going to worry about the little guys. I don't think they need it. Okay. Now I have some of these flowers. I'm not sure if I want to use this. That looks kind of cute. Let's see what happens if I ink this up a little bit. Kind of knock that pink back a little bit. Oh, that'd be lovely. Let's do that on the bigger frame. Thanks, Gigi. Let's see, I have that. Got my one little pooch sitting here. Oh, they're both sitting here. They've already been out once. Let's see if I can get this without making it. Woo! That's not a fall. I like to do groupings of 3s. Oh, this color might even be better. Look at this, girls. This color might even, oh, yes, let's use these. 2 degrees, oh my. Yes, let's use those instead. Wonderful. Now I think I want a piece of, I've got this stuff too. Got a lot of this stuff. Of course, I have no specific book cover in mind. A ton of snow tonight. Hey, good morning, Melissa. You know, Erin, I don't know if you remember, but my sister has a home on Shazy Lake up in, you know, probably further from you than I would think, but they haven't been up for a little while. I'll bet you. I'm not sure if they have any plans to go up before spring, but I'm sure they've got tons of snow as well. They're not too far from you, I don't think. Let's see. I'm not sure about putting some lace on the outside edge. We'll see. I'm going to grab a piece of my avocado cheesecloth. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't check our temperature. I don't think it's as cold as you girls are having. All right, let's see. This may be a little, these flowers may be a little too large to put 3 of them here. If that's the case, I may only want, maybe I want a piece of this under. It kind of takes away from the pink. Let's see what I have in my little mini fiber bag. See, this is a really fun part, I think, decorating them, but usually takes me a little time because, you know, I'm picky. Picky. Oh, I know what I have. I put some bits from the back of a book. I ripped apart a book. I've got some of this stuff. I thought I had a piece of that mesh. You know how you have the piece of mesh that comes when you rip a book apart? I thought thought I had a piece of that. Better put my brush back in my water. Oh, look, I've got the edge of a, and then they usually have that little canvas edge. So is it Barb's fault we get in this cold weather? Wish I could find a piece of mesh. I really would like that. Well, maybe a combo of the pink and the coffee dyed. And I think I'm gonna see if I can put a little of this vintage photo in here. Now on these little flowers, these are a little paper. These aren't silk. These are little paper flowers. And of course I took them out of the container. I have no idea who they're by or where I got them. But I like to take the little wire, instead of cutting that off, I like to wind it around something. So I'm just using this old knitting needle that I've assigned to the craft room. Get rid of my golden. Up out of my way, can't see the chat. And then I can kind of, I don't know if you can see that, then you've kind of got that little twirly thing happening on your flower, which I think is cute. But I think I need something under my flower. A little bit of something. Let's see, maybe a little piece of this. I don't know why I'd stitch this, but these little scraps have stitching. Sounds like my hubby's awake. I like to frame my edges. Morning. I'm on live. So I'm just pulling out a little bit of these fibers. See how I like that. Now you could do buttons, you can do ribbons, bows, charms, anything. I think I want a little piece of some kind of lace. Let me grab my we can hear all that. We forget how much this microphone picks up. This little piece of torn lace. Might add a piece of this. And I'm going to ink that too. Just because I don't want it so bright, it's just kind of stick out, you know. Might need a smaller bit. See, this is why I don't throw anything out, because you only need a little tiny bit. Is Candy here? Oh, good morning, Candy. right. I'm just going to layer my bits. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So now it's just gluing it all down. Got my hot glue gun. And you could, of course, use fabric tack, or if you have the patience of Job, you could just use white glue, which I do not. Lost my little lace. Here we go. Lace next. And a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's not quite like I had it, but you get the idea. Now, of course, you can do as much or as little as you like on any of these. So this is the one I made yesterday, thinking it would go on the front of a book cover. And then this one today. Now I just have to find an image or something. And you might have a book cover that is really cool design. I had a Reader's Digest here. Of course, this is too big for this book, but I'm not sure how it would look if you had a book cover that had a design in it. And you could do maybe something like this and put a saying in there. That might be, that might be kind of cool. And then the smaller ones, I was thinking you could decorate the corner of a journal cover. Maybe something like that. This one's older. It had a little damage here and some damage on the corner. So I'm going to cover that up, with a little frame. I'll put a little something behind there to cover that damaged portion. So now I have these 3 little guys left to decorate. Make sure I've got them going the correct way. And yes, that would be a cute idea as well, for sure. Very cute idea. You actually could put your grandkids' picture in those, stick them on the fridge, or your kids if you're young and you still have youngins, or maybe you want your old kids in there. So I'm just going to take some, what is this here? See, now isn't this crazy? Look at this little piece of fabric. But see, I love that little piece of fabric. There is clearly something not right with me. But I love it. I don't know. It's not really like muslin. It's a little lighter than muslin. It almost looks like, it was old and kind of worn out. Like it really worked hard during its life. Thank you, Erin. I appreciate that. Have a great day. Stay warm. Check my time. I want to make sure I'm done before Dee Dee pops on. Okay, so now somewhere around here, I have little buttons I've been rearranging some things and trying to get organized. I crack myself up. I get organized, I get unorganized, and I get organized again, and then unorganized. I got some stuff in these tins. Let's see what's in here. I don't want that. That's pins. Oh, these are little paper bits and bobs. I don't know that there's anything. Oh, this might be cute. One of these little tags might be cute. Let's see. This is a lot of, I think, some of the Tim Holtz stuff. A butterfly might work. I just love all this little stuff, right? That might look cute. Something different other than the buttons like I did on the other ones. Special delivery. Look at this cool stamp. I think that's kind of big. That's cool. That's a green. That might work. I could put a button on top of that. Oh, I love these label things. Don't you just love these? Really? I mean, come on. Look at this stuff. This, I think, is a better butterfly than that other one. Well, there's a couple. I only have 3 that I need to do, so I don't need. See, these are just little treasures. I just love this stuff. Throw any of these bits away. All right, so I'm going to grab some coffee stained cheesecloth. I love my cheesecloth. Love it, love it, love it. This is probably not enough for the 3 of them. But if I put that little pile there, and then I get this little guy and ink it. Oh, me too, Kimberly. The problem I have is remembering all that I have. And of course, I hate to tell you this, but I get attached. It's exactly what, if any of you were in the hop the other night, I know exactly what Shelley was talking about. I mean, I get so attached to them that I don't want to use them. Then I hoard them. It's just not good. I'm trying to remember where I put all my little. I just moved my little tiny buttons. Like, for instance, okay, these things. I've had these for years. Maybe I'll use one this morning. I think I need my Fabri-Tac, though. I don't know if that would be better than the hot glue. But these are a Tim Holtz thing. These are just little metal numbers. I've never used one of them because I absolutely love them. They're smooth. They're really cool. Yeah. Let's see, maybe that little number would look cute on there. That would look cute, right? I don't know if you can see it. I'll pick it up when I get it attached. It must be all in our artistic genes, right? It's crazy. Now, if I put a little tiny piece of lace under there, maybe that would. I just want a little tiny bit. Let's just see. I guess the hot glue would be okay. Okay, I'm going to do it. Going to do it, girls. Going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of my cheesecloth down the corner. And I like it to hang, you know, into this opening or out the side. Then I'm going to put that little green disc down. Boop. And then that little bit of lace. And then I'm going to put my number 2 on there. Let's see if I can get it to... There you go. Cute, right? Oh, I had to move it. See if I can get myself to stay still enough for it to focus. There we go. Cute, right? Oh, it's adorable. All right, now I like this little oval thing. I don't even know what it's for. So I'm going to put more, and I tend to always go down the bottom right. I don't know why. Thanks, Mitz. I don't know why. Thanks, Barbara. But you can decorate, like I did the top left corner of the bigger one, but you can decorate any. You could do it on the side. You could do it wherever you want. My brain just tends to go here. I don't know why. Now I think I'm going to put on maybe a little piece of this, but of course I'm going to rough that up. And maybe I'll fold that piece. Yeah, because I don't want all of the cheesecloth hidden. So let me just snip that. I'll just do like a little triangle-y piece. Put that on there. Well, that was a little round bit. This little oval bit, I think, better. Yeah, it might just be enough with that on there. You can. The thing is, you can always come back and add something, like especially if you're working in a certain book. You can add a little word. Oh, that's something we could do. We could add a word. I love my words as well. All right, let's see. So, right, that's cute. All right, last one. I'm going to take a little bit of cheesecloth. Again, I'm going to do, I think, the, I'm going to do the coffee dyed, I think. This I want to make a little kind of, thanks Rhonda, a little bit of a cluster kind of thing. And I'm going to put my little piece of stained gauze or whatever it is here. It's not really gauze. I don't know. It's not really muslin either. This might be getting a little too big here. Let's take a little bit of this. I mean, this cheesecloth, I mean, you only need a little bit. Hey, Riri. Good morning. You only need a little tiny bit. It just keeps going on forever and forever. There's just tons of it in the package. All right, so if I put that on like that, and I put my piece of cloth, I don't know how this is going to look. I'm thinking about putting this little thing on, kind of doing something similar to what Erin was saying, like a little dangly thing. With this little rusty pin. I made these tags years ago. I have no idea where I cut them out from. It's the cutest tag. I wish I could remember so I can make more. And I'm just going to see if I can pin this together. See, and then you could write something on there. Not sure I like the way this cheesecloth is hanging out down there. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to just go ahead and glue that on. And now I'm thinking about words. Make sure I get it on the right way. Could always trim this too if I decide. It's different. I don't know if this is... Got it crooked. Of course, now my nose itches. I can't get this one to clear up. There we go. Now I have some Tim Holtz words right here. So this is, I think this is the seasonal one. So let me see if I can find something. Let's just do forever. Oh, here's blessing. Let's do blessing. Of course, I'm going to ink this as well. I probably should add a little extra glue on here. Sometimes these things tend to pop off. So I haven't used this glue in a while. I can't get that one open. Oh dear. Okay. course, I should have decided where I'm going to put it before I'm just going to put it right. It kind of went kind of weird on its own. I'm just going to leave it that way. I think it looks kind of cute. Give it a little press. Do you know the interior dimensions of your little frame? No, I don't, but I will measure it for you. This is a little, the word never comes to me. Slide projector frame. There we go. It blurred back up, it cleared up, and then it blurred back up. Here we go. Let's get a little measurement here. So the whole thing measures 2 by 2. So the inside is 1 by 1. I wish I could, off the top of my head, know where I could grab a little image to pop behind there. I mean, girls, I have tons of stuff everywhere, okay? It's not like I lack for things to put behind there. You do? Do you have any of these little frames, Riri? Because I could send you a couple. Oh my gosh, Riri, I'm sure I have stuff, but I just didn't pull anything out, but that would be lovely. But if you need any of these little frames, I have them too. I just, of course, you probably could leave the film in there as well. I mean, really, you could put anything behind it, right? Even something plain. Yes, Tim Holtz people, that would be something. You could put them on there. Riri, send me a private message if you want a couple of these, because I'm not understanding. You know, even some script. I mean, I'm just, but even like on a, like, see, we're doing an altered book rather than a journal, you know. You know, even on a book page like that, you know, a page like that. Yeah, but you can send me a message if you do Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Paint Girly on Instagram, or you can send me a message. There's got to be another way too, other than Facebook. Well, if you know what, I do Gmail, and it's Paint Girly there. So, right, Etsy, you can send me a message on Etsy. Thank you, Candy. Time to be creative on Etsy. But see, that looks cute, right? Even on a book page. And then if you put a little picture behind there and maybe a coordinating scrapbook paper on the back, you could use it for the edge of a page as a little tab. Yeah, we're both in the Fibsville group, but that's Facebook. So she, Riri doesn't do Facebook. I just saw a picture in here. Well, it's not the best, but you get the idea. I mean, I just think these things are adorable. Right? So there you go. That was my project for this morning. I can't believe I got it finished. Woohoo! Great. Instagram, Pink Girly. I'll make sure I'll go check. I haven't been in there much lately, but I'll be checking it for sure. So, girls, I think that's all I was going to do this morning. Like I said, I'm trying to get into a better groove of doing some lives, and I've got several ideas of things to do, but I just don't get my butt in gear and do it. I mean, I'm always doing stuff, but I just don't turn on the camera, and you know. Thank you. So I think I'm going to go get some breakfast. I wish you all a wonderful Monday. Dee Dee comes on at, now I'm forgetting, this is what happens when we do things live. We forget. I think Dee Dee's on at 9, 9:30, 10, somewhere around there. She'll be on for several hours. And then on Monday after her, Janet Young. And then later this evening will be Lisa, My Eclectic Life. Oh, yes, Miss Janice Nash at 9. Yes. So, yes, both those girls are on around the same time, 8:39. Good. Thanks, girls. Well, thank you, Barbara. Girls, thanks for joining me so early. I'm glad to see I wasn't sitting here by myself. And I'll see you in one of those other girls' chats for sure later. I'm going to go heat up my coffee. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon. And Riri, I'll look for your message. All right, ladies, thanks for joining me. Don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy your journey. See you later. Thanks, ladies. Bye-bye.